Hello, anyone not still living in the 1970s? We interrupt your day to bring you this announcement. Oscar Ninja is in the building. Alright guys, we are here today with episode number 15 of the Carolina Panthers franchise here on Madden 25. And today, it is time for the Super Bowl. The Panthers have won 3 straight playoff games to be the NFC representative, and they will face the Pittsburgh Steelers in a showdown with the Lombardi Trophy up for grabs. And here come your Carolina Panthers out of the tunnel. They're excited to get this game underway. And they got to do it. They got to take down Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers, which have former Carolina Panther running back DeAngelo Williams on the team. Right there, Roethlisberger's pass will be completed to Miller. Miller's going to cough up the ball. It's recovered by Luke Kuechly. And the Carolina defense with the turnover on its opening drive. A big-time turnover. Can't quite tell who that was who forced it. But on first down, they start at the 49. The give will go to Stewart. Jonathan Stewart has a seam to the edge. A spin move from Stewart. He's got that one for a gain of 19 down to the Pittsburgh 32. And the Panthers are in business here early. Now on a 2nd and 15. Newton back to pass. Caught by Smith on the curl route. And Steve Smith, a gain of 20 is Smith. In what could be his final NFL game, looks for his first Super Bowl ring. And that'll set up a 1st and goal. Stewart's got enough for that one. Now on 3rd and goal, pass will be caught by Steve Smith for the touchdown. And the Panthers take the lead first here in the Super Bowl. It's a snowy one out there, but the Panthers strike first. Steve Smith, a nice little route right there, nice footwork on that route, cutting it off, and the NFL MVP opens the scoring here in the Super Bowl. The Panthers lead at 7-0 here early first. Now 3rd and 1 for the Steelers as we begin the 2nd quarter. There's former Panther DeAngelo Williams. He's got 3 carries for 13 yards. That one's good enough to get it out across midfield. Now on a 2nd and 10, Roethlisberger back to pass. That's caught. And he's going to have enough for the first down as Marcus Wheaton. Now 2nd and 10 from the Carolina 39. Roethlisberger, the give goes to Williams, who's blown up in the backfield by Greg Hardy. The defensive end who signed an extension during the season with the job of blowing that play up in the backfield. And he will succeed at his task right there. Sets up a 2nd and long here for the Steelers. They look to try and even the scoring here in the Super Bowl. Now a 3rd and 12 from the Carolina 41. Roethlisberger rolling out. He's going to unload one deep. Has a man open. It's Cottrey. And Jericho Cottrey, a gain of 37 down to the 4. Now it's 2nd and goal from the 3. The give to Williams. DeAngelo Williams into the end zone. He scores a touchdown against his former team to even things up here in the Super Bowl. Ted Ginn had a quiet NFC championship, but he's been known to flip the field here in the return game during these playoffs. Ginn's going to do that one again, return that one out to the 47. They'll set up shop near midfield. Newton back to pass, throws, has a man open, it's Steve Smith. He's got that one to the 37 of the Steelers. 4 catches, 42 yards for the NFL MVP. And he just beat a man right there, made the catch, got what he could, and it's a solid pickup for Steve Smith as he looks to potentially go out with a trophy, win the Super Bowl for the first time in his career in what could be his very final NFL game. I guess he won't know for sure if he's going to call it quits until the offseason. Newton back to pass. That should have been intercepted on 3rd down. Instead it falls harmlessly to the turf. Out comes Graham Gano with a chance to give the Panthers the lead. The long field goal on the way, and it is through the uprights and good. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. The Panthers lead at 10-7. Roethlisberger feeling the pressure, gets rid of it to Brown. Antonio Brown, all kinds of daylight. He's going to take this one the distance. As a 68-yard pitch and catch from Ben Roethlisberger to Antonio Brown. Now the Panthers looking to put up their 4th last-minute drive in as many games here in the playoffs. On 4th and 10, Steve Smith will bounce back from a drop on 3rd down with a one-handed grab on 4th down to move the chains. A risky play call right there, but Steve Smith makes it look all too easy. 1st down, Carolina. Just beautiful route running right there, and a really good concentration to haul that sucker in with one hand. And he atones for his 3rd down drop with the 4th down conversion. Steve Smith wants his ring. Will he be able to get it? Here he goes, a 2nd and 17 now, 55 seconds left in the half. Newton unloading deep. That's caught! Steve Smith went up into double coverage. He climbed the ladder and he pulled that baby down. 1st down from the 38. Newton back to pass. That's caught by Steve Smith again. He's got that one down to the 24 of the Steelers. 2nd timeout called by the Panthers. They trail by 4 here. 7 catches, 100 yards in the score for Steve Smith. 1st down from the 24 of Pittsburgh. 42 seconds left in the half. Newton's back to pass. He unloads. That's caught. Steve Smith climbs the ladder once more. He's got that one down to the 7. And it'll be 1st and goal for Carolina. That's the 2nd time in as many plays. Steve Smith just climbed up, jumped into double coverage to haul that ball down. And Steve Smith having himself a ball game here in his 2nd Super Bowl appearance. They lost to the Patriots back in 2003 on a last-minute field goal. Now time winding down in the quarter. The give goes to Stewart. Jonathan Stewart has paid her. Jonathan Stewart has the end zone. Jonathan Stewart with the touchdown. And for the 4th straight playoff game, the Panthers score a touchdown just before halftime. And now they get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Steve Smith beat everybody deep. He's got a big game before being knocked out of bounds. Cam Newton having a nice game. They got it at the 49 of the Steelers. Jonathan Stewart with the seam. Jonathan Stewart breaking tackles. And that's a big gain for Jonathan Stewart down the sideline down to the 14. Jonathan Stewart says, let's get hyped, everybody. He busts open a big one here early in the 3rd. He's got 7 carries, 64 yards. Jonathan Stewart looking to have himself a Super Bowl to remember here in the 2nd half. That one will set the Panthers up in the red zone. They got it 3rd and 1 from the 4 now. Cam will keep it himself on the read option. He's into the end zone, and Carolina extends its lead here in the Super Bowl. They march down the field on the opening drive of the 2nd half, and they will extend the lead here. It's a 10-point game. Do the Steelers have an answer? The give goes to Williams. DeAngelo Williams, a nice gain against his former team. Yeah, 7 carries, 29 yards. It's a 1st down from the 35. Roethlisberger feeling the pressure. He's going to be sacked. Star Lotulelei, the rookie defensive tackle, with a mammoth sack here in the Super Bowl. 2nd and 19. Roethlisberger all day to throw. Wide open is Wheaton over the middle of the field. He's got that one down to the Carolina 37. They're on a 3rd and 3 from the 13. Roethlisberger, he overthrew it, had a man wide open and missed him. Out comes a field goal unit to make this one a 7-point ball game. The field goal is good, and it's a 7-point Panthers lead here as we begin the 4th quarter. The give goes to Stewart on the first play of the final quarter. Stewart's got his team down the sideline. Jonathan Stewart, no one gonna beat him. He's gonna take this one the distance. And Jonathan Stewart with a house call here on the first play of the 4th quarter. A big run. He got a nice seam and he was off to the races. And no one in the black and gold had a chance to beat him. 2nd rushing touchdown for Jonathan Stewart. It's back to a 2-score game. Miller will make the catch, break a tackle, lower his shoulder, pick up some extra yardage down to the 42. The Steelers down by 14. Roethlisberger, that'll be caught by Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders with his first catch is a gain of 11 down to the 48 of Carolina. And there goes Antonio Brown with a nice catch down to the 37. 5 catches, 112 yards for Brown. That one's Heath Miller wide open. Heath Miller going to take this one down to the 5, down to the 3. 6 catches, 90 yards, a man in motion. Steelers marching right down the field. DeAngelo Williams into the end zone for the 2nd time today. It's a 7-point ball game here. DeAngelo take the return. Gin's got a nice seam down the sidelines, and he's going to take that one to the Steelers' 42. Set up the Panthers in prime position, 3rd and 11. Throw should have been intercepted. Instead, it'll fall harmlessly to the turf. They're going for it, rolling the dice. Super Bowl on the line. Steve Smith can't haul it in. And so the Steelers with a chance to tie this baby up. There's Antonio Brown wide open down the sideline to the 32. 7 catches, 137 yards. And there's Williams. Williams will make the catch out of the backfield. DeAngelo Williams, 2 catches, 15 yards. We've hit the 2-minute warning. And wide open right there. That'll be enough for the first down is Paulson. 2nd and inches. Throws caught by Miller. Miller's into the end zone. And we are tied here in the Super Bowl. 1:35 left for the Panthers to win the Lombardi Trophy, or else we're going to overtime. There's Tavares King along the sideline. A big gain to get the first down now on 2nd and 10. Throws deep, caught by Smith. Steve Smith has this one to the Steelers' 46. He's got it across midfield. 2nd down, Newton going back to Smith. Smith has that one down to the Steelers' 31, and a timeout called by Pittsburgh. First down from the 31. Williams in motion here for the Panthers. The give goes to Stewart. Jonathan Stewart, he's got a seam. Jonathan Stewart has this one inside the 15 down to the 12. And he's really come on strong here in this second half. Stewart throws to Steve Smith. And Steve Smith got that one down to the 2. It'll be 1st and goal. 48 seconds left. The Panthers knocking on the door, man in motion. The give to Jonathan Stewart, who's into the end zone for the 2nd time this quarter. And the Panthers take a last-minute lead here in the Super Bowl. Jonathan Stewart, a strong second half here on a snowy night in MetLife Stadium. And now the Steelers running out of time. They need a touchdown. 20 seconds left. It's 3rd and 2. They've got it near midfield. Roethlisberger, once it all pressure comes, he's going to be sacked. A big sack. The clock will continue to run. 4th and 10. Here's your ball game. And wide open is Sanders. He was wide open down the sideline. That'll set up a Hail Mary attempt. Roethlisberger wants it all. He's picked off. Intercepted by Jeff Heath. And for the first time in franchise history, the Carolina Panthers are your Super Bowl champions. An instant classic here in the snow in MetLife Stadium, but it ends with the Carolina Panthers victorious and bring that trophy home to Charlotte. Let the celebration ensue. The Panthers have won 4 straight playoff games to go from the wild card to the Super Bowl champions as they take down the Pittsburgh Steelers 38-31 here in the snow. And they're celebrating, picking guys up on their shoulders. And Steve Smith, if this is his final game in the NFL, he goes out with his first ring and he will literally go out on top. Jonathan Stewart mobbed by teammates. And the celebration is ensuing. The confetti is flying here as the Panthers bring the Lombardi Trophy home for the first time. As they're set to take the trophy, they're getting excited. The celebration is continuing. Jonathan Stewart stands on a bench. He's hyping all the fans are manning up. The celebration is wild, and your Super Bowl MVP is Jonathan Stewart. He had a case of the fumbleitis at times here this season. But in the biggest game, on the biggest stage, Jonathan Stewart puts up the biggest numbers. He had chunk yards all day on the ground. He has 3 rushing touchdowns. And he is a huge reason why your Panthers are Super Bowl champions. Cam Newton, 14-25, 214 with a touchdown, no interceptions. A clean game for the Panthers. 15 carries, 170 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Jonathan Stewart. Averaged 11 yards a carry in the Super Bowl. A very fitting MVP if there ever was one. He is definitely your player of the game. 13 catches, 199 yards, and a touchdown for Steve Smith. Almost broke the 200-yard mark in what could very well be his final game. Tavares King had a big 3rd down conversion. on that final drive. Jeff Heath led the team with 6 tackles. Tackles for loss for Heath, Lotulelei, and Greg Hardy. Sacks for Heath and Lotulelei. He had the big sack that you thought for a second was going to seal things. And he did come up with the game-sealing interception. And Graham Gano made his only field goal try. But that'll do it for me. The Panthers are Super Bowl champions, and I will see you next time for the off season. Have a fantastic day, everybody.